Hi everyone, in this video we are going to solve the IIM Bangalore BSc sample paper, okay, for the UG program, and we are solving the quants and DI section here. I hope you've already gone through the paper. There were a lot of questions from arithmetic as well, then there was higher maths as well, class 11 12 topics, calculus, right? There was algebra as well, isn't it? There was geometry as well. So we'll see in this particular video what all questions were there. Okay, let's try to solve these. The first one is three decorative lights are hung equidistantly on the edge of a circular swimming pool of radius 15 centimeter. This is of geometry. Okay, these lights are connected with each other by tight wires forming a triangle. What is the perpendicular distance of the wire connecting any two lights from the center of the swimming pool? So we have to take a circular swimming pool. There's a center, okay, and we have to form a equilateral triangle, okay. Obviously, because these 3 points that we are talking about, where the lights are placed, they're equidistant. I mean, we can say that they're at equal distances on the circumference. So ultimately, when you join those points, these tight wires will form a triangle, okay. Now, we have been told that the radius is 15. So we can connect the center to this point and this will be 15. From the center of the swimming pool, we have to find out the perpendicular distance, right? Perpendicular distance of the wire connecting any two lights. This is the wire connecting two lights from center of the swimming pool. Let this be O, this point be A, this point be B. We know that this is an equilateral triangle, obviously. So this entire angle is going to be 60. This much is going to be 30. And this much is going to be 60. This is obviously 90. So we can see that we have a right angle triangle A, O, B, where this is 30-degree, right? We have the hypotenuse 15 and we need this perpendicular, right? So can we use sine 30 here to relate perpendicular and hypotenuse? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse 15. Sine 30 is half, we get P by 15. P is actually 15 by 2, which gives us 7.5, and that's the correct answer of this question. Okay, this was an easy one. So hardly 2 3 minutes needed to solve this, even less than that. Okay, I am explaining here, so I'm taking 2 3 minutes. You could have done it faster. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is around modulus. Solve the inequality mod 2x plus 5, okay, and less than equal to 3 mod 2x minus 1. There are various ways to solve this. You can take the critical points as well, and then there'll be three ranges, like critical point for this mod is minus 5 by 2, critical point for this mod is half. But in that way, you will be forming three equations, three ranges. There'll be a lot to do. We can also observe that on the left hand side, we have a positive number. On the right hand side, this mod is there. So it will also be positive. Mods always give you positive values outside, right? And then we have this 3, which is again positive. So we have a complete positive value on the left hand side, a positive value on the right hand side. We can say that we have been given two positive numbers. I'm just taking an example to make you understand what I'm going to do here. A positive number A which is less than equal to another positive number B. So if there's a number positive number A less than equal to B, then we can say that the square of A will always be less than the square of B. Obviously, I mean, if A and B are two positive numbers, right, we can say this. So instead of going the critical point way, we can directly square these, okay, both the sides. So 2x plus 5 square. So mod basically disappears when we square both the sides. The inequality remains the same. 3 square becomes 9, and then we get 2x minus 1 square. What do we get? We get 4x square plus 20x plus 25 less than equals to 9 times 4x square minus 4x plus 1. We solve this further. What do we get? On the right hand side, we have 36x square minus 36x plus 9. On the left hand side, we have 4x square plus 20x plus 25. Now let's adjust the like terms. So x square goes there, we get 32x square, right? 20 goes there, we get minus 56x. And this 25 goes there, we get 16, right? So minus 16. And this entire thing is greater than equal to 0, isn't it? We have taken all the terms on the left hand side to the right hand side and we are getting this. So we can say that this is greater than equal to 0, right? Obviously, everything will be on the right hand side, this much, and it is greater than equal to nothing will remain on the left hand side, so 0. Now we can take 4 common further, so we get 8x square minus 14x and minus 4 greater than equal to 0. Now 8 4 is 32. We have to split this 14 into two terms so that we are able to factorize it. Obviously 8x square minus 16x plus 2x minus 4 greater than or equal to 0 will be the factorization. From here I get 8x x minus 2, then plus 2 x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0, and we get 8x plus 2 into x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. We can further take 2 common from here. We get 4x plus 1 x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. This is an inequality that we have to solve. We'll have to put the critical point first, right? Minus 1 by 4 is one critical point, because at that value of x, this is becoming 0 and x is 2. So one critical point is 2, one is minus 1 by 4. When we put the critical points, we have to take a value from that region. Here we have plus infinity, here we have minus infinity, right? So from 2 to infinity, we'll pick up any value and put it here in our inequality. Let's take 3, put it here. This is positive, this is positive. So here it is going to be positive. Minus 1 by 4 to 2. Let's pick 0 from this range, okay? Minus 1 by 4 to 2. This is positive, this is negative, so I'm going to get a negative product. And on the left hand side, I mean, the leftmost range, minus infinity to minus 1 by 4, let's pick up any number, say minus 2. This is going to be negative, this is going to be negative, so negative into negative is positive. So we see that minus infinity to minus 1 by 4 and 2 to infinity, we are going to get positive. Positive means greater than 0, and that's what we are looking for. Now, minus infinity is always excluded, infinity is always excluded, but when we talk about minus 1 by 4 and 2, we know that this inequality at minus 1 by 4, it is going to be equal to 0. And in the inequality, again, we have equal to 0. So we'll accept this. Okay. At 2 also, this inequality will become 0 and we can accept 0 because left hand side, right hand side can be 0. Okay. And we'll make their union. So where do we have the solution according to the options? Less than 1 by 4, less than equal to 1 by 4, this is following, and greater than equal to 2. So x greater than equal to 2 and x less than equal to minus 1 by 4, this follows. Hence option 1 is correct. Right? Others are, these two are straight away gone, and this is the reverse. Okay, so option 2 is wrong. Fine. That's the solution to this one. Okay. Now let's come to the third question that we have. This is A can complete a piece of work alone in 120 hours. B can complete it alone in 180 hours, while C can complete it alone in 216 hours. In every cycle of 3 days, only A works on day 1, only B works on day 2, and only C works on day 3. In the nth cycle, each of A, B, C work for n hours. An exception is made on the last day if the work is completed mid-cycle. So when we read these initial few lines, we're able to see that over here, we have a cycle of 3 days in which A is working on day 1, B is working on day 2, and C is working on day 3. And in the nth cycle, each of A, B, C work for n hours. So days have been given, but on that particular days, n hours. This simply means that on day 1 hour of work will be done, right? Because on nth day, nth cycle, in nth cycle, there'll be the nth day, right? I mean, when you talk about the nth cycle, we'll have 3 days, right? In which n hours is being done. So in cycle 1, what do we have in cycle 1? In cycle 1, we'll have day 1, day 2, day 3. And on each of those days, 1 hour unit of work will be done. Okay? I mean, we'll work for 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. I mean, all of them, A, B, C, isn't it? And similarly, we'll have cycle 2 on cycle 2. In cycle 2, we'll have three people again, A, B, C, but they'll work for 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. Isn't it like this? And similarly, we have nth cycle where they'll be working for n hours, n hours, n hours. So we have the I mean, we have been given these things over here that they do this particular work alone in 120 hours, right? A can complete it alone in 120 hours, B can complete it alone in 180 hours, while C can complete it alone in 216 hours. So accordingly, we'll distribute their work in these three initial days of cycle 1, then next 3 days of cycle 2, and similarly till cycle n. So this was a catch over here that in cycle 1, all 3 days they are working for 1 hour. Cycle 2, every day they're working for 2 hours, and so on, so on, so on. Okay. An exception is made on the last day if the work is completed mid-cycle. Okay, so there's an exception that can be given on last day if the work is completed mid-cycle. Fine. What is the total number of days needed for the work to be completed? Okay. So we need to find a total number of days. Now, note, if on the final day of work, the person working is supposed to work for P hours, but the work gets over after just Q hours, that should be considered as only Q by P day. Okay, that makes sense, right? So now we simply have to first find out what are their efficiencies, right? We have been given that they complete the work individually in these days. We'll try to find out total work done by them. Okay, and what is their efficiency? Clear? So we'll just pick up these values. Okay, A completes the total work in 120 hours, B can complete it alone in 180 hours, C can complete it alone in 216. So 120, 180, 216. Now let us talk about A, B, C. Okay, A, we were given that it takes 120 hours, B takes 180 hours, and C takes 216 hours. Okay, these are in hours to complete the total work. Let's try to find out the total work. Total work, if days are given or time is given, then you simply take LCM of the time given. That is 120, 180, 216. What do you get if you find out the LCM of all three? You get 1080 units as the total work to be done. Okay. So we can find out the efficiency, I mean, uh, per day for how many hours do they work. Okay. So we can say that I mean, if you talk about A, 1080 upon 120, that simply means A can do 9 units per hour, right? If you talk about B, 1080 upon 180, that is 6 units per hour is the efficiency of B, and C, it is 1080 divided by 216, that is 5 units per hour is the efficiency of C. Now if you talk about cycle 1, it clearly mentioned that in cycle 1 A is working on day 1, B on day 2, C on day 3, right? So A will do 9 units of work on day 1, B will do 6 units of work on day 2, C will do 5 units of work on day 3. So together they completed 20 units. Okay. And this is when they were working for, I mean, in cycle 1, they will be working for 1 hour every day, right? So in cycle 1, they will be working for 1 hour every day, right? So that's it. 9 units in 1 hour, 6 units in 1 hour, and C did 5 units in 1 hour, 20 units. This was the work done in 3 days, right? Because in cycle 1, we have day 1, day 2, day 3. If you talk about cycle 2, I mean, A will be working for 2 hours, so work done will be 9 into 2 plus 6 into 2 plus 5 into 2. So that's kind of double of 20, right? 2 times 9 plus 6 plus 5. So that becomes how much? It becomes 40, right? Or we can say 20 into 2. In cycle 3, all of them will be working for 3 hours on those days. First day 3 hours, second day 3 hours, and third day 3 hours. So A will be working on the first day for 3 hours, B second day 3 hours, and third day C for 3 hours. So that's like 20 into 3 units. So this is the work done in cycle 1. Okay, 20 units cycle 1 mein, and then cycle 2 40 units, cycle 3 60 units. Like this they have to keep going until they complete 1080 units. And remember, in one cycle we have 3 days. Okay, I hope that is clear. So can we say that we are kind of adding 20 into 1 plus cycle 2 20 into 2 plus cycle 3 20 into 3, and so on, so on, so on, isn't it? Till some value say n, so that so that what do we have to make sure that we'll try to approach 1080. Okay, we'll try to remain, or we'll try to keep the work below 1080 units. Okay, so what happens? We can take 20 common. We get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. The same series till n less than 1080. Okay. We get 20 times n into n plus 1 by 2, because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus n has some n into n plus 1 by 2. And fine, this should be less than 1080. Okay. So we get 10n n plus 1 less than 1080. Or if 10 cancels the 0, we get n into n plus 1 less than 108. We have to find out an approx value of n for which this is less than 108. This product of n into n plus 1 is less than 108. So say if I put n equals to 10, what do I get? 10 into 11. 10 into 11 becomes 110. So we'll take n less than 10, okay? So let n be equals to 9. What do we get? 9 into 9 plus 1. Okay. 9 into 9 plus 1 is 9 into 10, that is 90. Yes or no? That's 90. And because we cancel 10, let's find out the total work done, okay? The total work done will be 10n into n plus 1. We just cancel this 0 so that we could approximate the value of n. So total work done will be this only, yes or no? 20 into n into n plus 1 by 2, which is basically 10n into n plus 1. So 10 into 9 into 9 plus 1. That gives me 10 into 10, 100, total 900 units of work. 900 units of work done in n cycles. So what is the value of n? 9 cycles. One cycle has 3 days. So to complete 900 units, we have consumed how many days? 9 cycles. And 9 cycles actually mean 27 days. Yes or no? Every cycle has 3 days. I hope till this point it is clear. 900 units have been done, 27 days have been taken. Now we are very close to completing our work, that is 1080 units. How many units are left? We need 180 units more. We are left with these many more units. Okay. Now when we come to the, see, 9 cycles have been finished. Okay. 9 cycles are gone. We are into the 10th cycle now. Let's talk about the 10th cycle. In the 10th cycle, A, whose efficiency is 9 units per hour, will be working for 10 hours. So A does 90 units. 90 units more are done. So from 180, 90 units are done. We are now left with 90 more units left. 90 units done. And this day one on which A worked on 10 cycle, first day when A worked, this will be counted as a day. So one more day. Okay. Beyond this, 27 days. We are left with 90 units. In 10th cycle, B will work now, and B works at the efficiency of 6 units per hour. And in and since it is the 10th cycle, B will be working for 10 hours. So work done by B will be 6 units per hour into for 10 hours, that is 60 units, isn't it? And this work will be done by B in one day. So one more day is consumed over here. I hope this is clear. Okay. We had to do 180 units more work. 90 is done, 60 is done. So 150 units is done. We are just left with 30 more units. So 30 units have to be completed. And who is going to work now? It is C. C, whose efficiency is 5 units per hour. It will come work for 10 hours. Now, if C works for entire 10 hours, it will complete 50 units of work because 5 into 10 is 50, but we have to do just 30 units. So 30 units have to be completed by C, and C is going to work how much? C can complete on, he's working on the 10th cycle, so 10 hours, and C's efficiency is 5. So 30 by 50 is zero point 0.6. That means we are going to require just zero point 0.6 days for C to complete those last 30 units. So how many days do we have to count in total? These 27 days for the initial 9 cycles. Then one day in the 10th cycle, we took 2 more days, A and B, and C took the last zero point 0.6 days of the 10th cycle. So that totals to 29.6 days. And that is how you have to find out your answer. Okay. Very good question. Very comprehensive question. Not so direct. So you can expect such mind benders in uh, time and work. Okay. I hope this is clear. Fine. Now let's talk about this question. This was a question based upon profit, loss, and discount. A shopkeeper marks the price of an item 50% above its cost. So you all know that we have MP, SP, CP, they are somehow related, isn't it? So shopkeeper marks the price of an item 50% above its cost. You know that MP and CP, they are related, isn't it? So if you increase CP by some percent, it becomes MP. So my MP here, mark price, it has been marked 50% above CP. So when you increase something by 50%, you have to multiply it with 1.5. So it becomes 1.5 CP. During a festival, he offers a sequence of discounts. First, a 20% discount, then an additional 10% off on the reduced price, and finally gives a further rebate of 30 on the total bill for 10 identical items. If after all these reductions, he still makes a profit of 5% on selling the 10 items, what is the cost of one item? Okay. So when you finally read this question, we are talking about actually 10 items. Okay. We know that the mark price is 50% above the cost price because it was marked 50% above, isn't it? So this is the relation between CP and MP. Okay. You increase CP by some basically percentage, then it is mark price. And it is clearly written in the question like marked above the cost price. Okay. Now he's offering a sequence of discount. You know that suppose you have some price X, okay, which is basically MP. Discounts are given on MP, okay. So this is for example, okay. so that you can understand the equation that I'm going to form. You always give discount on MRP. MRP is same as MP. Okay. So suppose your MP is X and you're going to give a discount of 10% on it. So when you reduce something by 10%, you multiply it with 0.9. Okay. In the same way, when you reduce something by 20%, you multiply it with 0.8, right? So here we have a total of 10 items. Let us do this for one item. Okay. So first of all, I had my cost price. I marked it up by 1.5%, so it became the mark price. Now, since discounts are given on MP, I will reduce this price by how much? First, 20%. When you reduce something by 20%, you multiply it with zero point 0.8. Then further 10% off. So, on the same price that you have right now, you reduce it further by 10%. So, when you reduce something by 10%, you multiply it with 9.9, right? Why? Because see, if you're reducing x by its x%, so that simply means x minus 0.1x, that is 0.9x. So reducing some quantity x by 10% simply means multiplying with 0.9. Okay. So this is the final what? You had MP, you gave so many discounts. So when you give discounts on MP, after giving discounts on MP, what you actually get is the selling price. On MP, if you give discounts, you get selling price. Suppose I go to a shop, I ask the shopkeeper for a shirt, he says 400, I say no, give it to me for 350. So he gives me a discount of 50 and I give him 350. So that's the selling price for him. Okay. He sold the t-shirt to me at 350. So on MRP, if you get some discount, what actually becomes is SP. And because we are talking for 10 items here, that after this 10% discount, he also give a further rebate. Rebate simply means discount of 30% on the total bill for 10 items. So this total discount of 30 rupees is on 10 items. So every item he would have given 3 rupees of discount. So this is total what? All types of discounts and reduction of price. This is what we have. And on this, we have been given that after all these reductions, he still makes a profit of 5% on selling items. So MP, this is basically complete selling price. This is my selling price, isn't it? If you have to find out profit percent, then profit percent is profit, right? Profit upon CP in 200. Yes or no? So now, so whenever you have a profit, okay, suppose I say that on some quantity X, I got a profit of 10%. So that means SP is equal to 1.1 times CP, isn't it? I mean, if on some cost price you get a 10% profit, 10% profit means you got 10% extra than the cost price. So when you increase something by 10%, you multiply it with 1.1. Yes or no? So suppose the quantity X, you increase it by 10%, right? What do you get? X plus 0.1x. So that means 1.1x. So increasing some quantity x by 10% simply means we are multiplying it with 1.1. Here also, uh, this is an example that I'm giving to you, okay? If I have some cost price and I get a profit of 10% on it, that means I'm getting 10% more than the cost price. So this is my complete selling price, isn't it? And if I do this for total 10 items, right? So this is the total what? Selling price of 10 items, right? This should be equal to I am getting a profit of 5%. So if you increase some quantity X by 5%, 5%, what do you get? You get 1.05x. So here also, this is the total selling price that I have. So this is achieved when the cost price would have been increased by 1.05, and this is for one item. I have to do it for 10 items. So I'll put what? Into 10 over here. Yes or no? So practically these two will cancel each other. Isn't it 10 10? You do it for one item or 10 items. It's the same, right? So what do I have finally? I get CP into 1.5 into 0 0.8. 1.5 into 0 0.8 basically becomes 1.2. Yes or no? 1.2 into 0 0.9 becomes 1.08. So CP into 1.08 minus 3 is equal to 1.05 CP. So CP goes there. What do we get? 0.03 CP is equal to 3. So we get 3 CP upon 100 equals to 3. This cancels. We get CP equal to 100. And that is the answer. Okay. So if you know how to use this multiplying factor technique, you could have done this very easily. Okay. If you make equations, it could become complex, but whatever way you prefer. Okay. This is one solution. I hope it is clear. It is very important to understand how MP, CP, SP, discount, everything are related. Okay. Let's talk about this. An article costing 80 rupees was marked 25% above the cost price. Now I'll use that same technique. Okay, mark price is 25% above cost price. So we have to increase cost price by 25%. So we'll multiply it with 1.25. If you increase any quantity by 25%, you directly multiply it with 1.25. Okay. So, okay. Now we are offering a discount of X percent. After offering a discount of X percent, the customer now pays 81 rupees. Okay, so what do we do here? We were given that CP is 80. If CP is 80, you put it here, you get MP equals to 100. On 100, you are giving a discount, okay, of X percent. So when you reduce 100 by 100%, by X percent, right? What do you get? When you reduce 100 by X percent, why? Because you are giving a discount. So you will reduce X percent of 100 from 100, right? And you get 81. So that simply means X is what? Equals to 19. So a discount of 19% was given. I hope that is clear. Now the question says that if the mark price is increased twice successively by X percent. So mark price was 100, you increase it successively twice by X percent. So when you increase some quantity, say 100 or anything by X percent, you multiply it with 1 plus X by 100. And because this has to be done twice, we'll again multiply this with 1 plus X into 100. So we can directly write this. Okay. Mark prices increase successively. So this is my MP now. Okay. And the article is sold at the new mark price. So this only, I increase the mark price by X percent twice. And this is the SP now. Okay. This is the SP because he's saying that the item is being sold at mark price. So this is SP, right? Then the profit would be what percent more than the profit when the selling price was 81. Okay, so if this is my mark price, cost price obviously was 80, right? So I'm calculating the profit. What is profit percent? SP minus CP upon CP into 100, right? So I know the value of X, it is 19. So 100 into 1.19 by 100 is 19 square minus 80 upon 80 into 100, right? Now see over here we have some complex calculation. We have to square 1.19. So you are given an on-screen calculator. This is how you have to make good use of that. Okay. If you do that, what do you get? 100 into 1.19 square approximately becomes 1.4161. Okay. Minus 80. In fact, 141. Okay. 141.61 minus 80 because we have 100 multiplied as well. Divided by 80 into 100. Okay. And that gives you approx what? That gives you somewhere around 77.0125. So this is where you have to use on-screen calculator, okay? Now, this is the profit percentage when he is selling the uh, particular item at the mark price. We have to tell then the profit would be what percent more than the profit when the selling price was 81. Okay. So if selling price is 81, my cost price was already given that was 80. Can I find out the profit percent here? Yes. SP minus CP, there's a profit of 1 upon cost price 80 into 100. What is this? This becomes 1.25%, right? So this is the profit percentage when it was being sold at 81. This is the profit percentage 77.0125 when it was being sold like this. So it is asking me this profit percent, okay, in this case is how much more than this 1.25%. Okay, so not very difficult. Okay, what you have to do is you simply have to find out that 77.0125% is how much percent more than this. So 77.0125 minus 1.25 upon 1.25 into 100. If you calculate this, it comes 6061% again. So this is a question which is going to help you use the on-screen calculator. Okay, make good use of it. Now let's try to solve this question. We have a bag of tokens. Each token has label m chosen from the square of first n natural numbers with frequency root m. What is the arithmetic mean of the label? So not a difficult question. We have a bag of tokens. Okay, so there are many tokens. Each token has a label m. So there's a label. Say this is the label of the token. Chosen from square of first n natural numbers. So m, this label value is always a square, okay? So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and so on, so on. So this is the label value. But frequency m means there are m tokens. Okay, if you talk about one square, okay, so say there's a token having label 1, right? There'll be a token having label 1. How many such tokens are there? There are such root m tokens. So root of 1 is 1 token, right? Then if you talk about the token having label 4, how many such tokens are there? Root of 4, root, because this is m, 4 is m, so root of m is the frequency. That means that is particularly the number of tokens, you can say, because frequency simply means the number of times it is occurring. So say there are root 4, that means 2 such tokens. Then if 9 is the label value of the token, root 9, that means 3 such tokens are there. Okay, it is asking, it is asking uh, this is all n square, n square, n square, right? And corresponding to them we have n, n, n. So if n is 1, n square is 1, n is 2, n square is this one, right? 4, 2 square. If n is 3, we have n square, that means 3 square, which is 9, right? We have to find out the arithmetic mean of all such tokens. So I know that if my token value is n square, its frequency will be n. So let's add all of them, okay? But we have to add and then divide it by the arithmetic mean of the labels. I hope this is clear. Arithmetic mean simply means the total value of all the labels, and I mean total value will be 1 into 1 plus 4 into 2 plus 9 into 3 plus n square into n, right? This is the total value. Total value of all the tokens, right? Of all the labels. And how many such labels are there? I mean, how many such tokens are there? Obviously, there are n, right? I mean, we have one, two, I mean, one of this type, two of this label, three of this label. So we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up till n such tokens, and then we have 1 into 1 plus 4 into 2 plus 9 into 3 and n square into n as the total value sum of the labels, right? So 1 into 1 plus 4 into 2 means 8, 8 means 2 cube, 9 into 3 27 means 3 cube, and then 4 square, that is 16 into 4 means 64, that is 4 cube. And we are going to do this until n square into n, that is n cube. So basically the sum of labels of all the tokens is going to be this much. And because we are finding out arithmetic mean, we have to divide it by the total number of tokens. Total number of tokens is 1 of this type, 2 of this type, 3 of this type till n. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up till n. So this is sum of cube of first n natural numbers, that is n into n plus 1 by 2 whole square. And this thing is going to be divided with sum of first n natural numbers, that is n into n plus 1 by 2. This cancels this. We ultimately get n into n plus 1 by 2 as my answer. So option B. Okay, so this was a good question. Okay, little bit confusing on some steps, but if you do it properly, you'll be able to get it. Okay. Let's talk about this particular question now. In a geometric progression, the first term is a not equal to 0, the common ratio is r less than 1, and the sum to infinity is s. So it's a decreasing GP because r is less than 1. Sum of a decreasing GP s, right? This is the sum given to me. It is a upon 1 minus r. First term is a. Okay. If the second term of the geometric progression, second term of a geometric progression is AR, yes or no, is equal to negative sum of infinity, sum till infinity is S. What is the value of greatest integer function? Okay, integer value of R we can say. So we need to solve these two equations, relate them, and then probably we'll be able to get the answer. Right? So in place of this S over here, if I put minus AR, right? S can be written as minus AR from this equation. So let's put minus AR equals to A upon 1 minus R over here. Return is no A goes, we get 1 upon 1 minus R, and this minus R goes there, we get plus R, that is equal to 0, right? If we solve this further, we get 1 plus R minus R square equal to 0, right? Or we can say R square minus R minus 1 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation that we have. We know that it cannot be factorized, but still what we can do is we can use Sridharacharya formula to find out its roots. Okay, so that's minus b plus minus under root of b square, that is minus 1 ka square 1 minus 4ac, so plus 4 upon 2a, so 2. Right, this is the value of our possible two values, minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 and minus 1 minus root 5 by 2. Obviously, minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 is going to be minus 1 plus root of 5 is 2.236, right? Upon 2, so that gives you 1.236. Yes or no? Divided by 2. Clear? Okay, so there's a small mistake that we have done while finding out the root. This should be minus b, right? So minus of minus 1, that is plus. So this is plus plus. We get 1 plus 2.236, that is 3.236 divided by 2. So this approximately comes 1.6. So R value is 1.6. Will we accept it? No, because R was given less than 1 over here in the very first line. Okay. So this is discarded. We'll rather go with this. This will be plus 1 again. Okay. So 1 minus root 5 is 2.2 divided by 2. 2.236. I am just taking 2.2. So that gives me minus 1.2 divided by 2. That gives me minus 0.6. This is the value of R which is less than 1 and we'll accept it. But we have to find out the greatest integer value of this. So what is the function of greatest integer? To return greatest integer less than the value inside. What is the greatest integer less than minus 0.6? It is minus 1. So my answer will be minus 1. So not a difficult question. Okay. Don't commit silly errors. You'll be able to do it. Okay. Let's talk about this question. The value of an item depreciates X% per year. The present value of the item is 109350. Its value after 3 years will be rupees 79716.15. 2 years ago from now, its value in rupees was. Okay. So this is a question related to percentage, future value, and present value, right? Not a difficult question. So here the value is depreciating. Depreciating means it is decreasing X% per year. Okay. So the present value of the item is 109350. It is depreciating X% every year. So when you decrease something by X%, you basically, I mean, try to write equations in a short form if you know them. Okay. I mean, when you decrease 109350 by its X%, right? So obviously you'll take 109350 and you'll simply multiply with 1 minus x by 100. So we can simply say that 1 minus x by 100. Okay. The present value of the item is 109350. Its value after 3 years will be this. Okay. Present value is this. Every year there is some depreciation happening. So after 3 years there will be 3 depreciations each of x%. So we can say 1 minus x by 100 ka cube. Right. And finally the reduced value that we are getting after depreciation, that is 79716.15. Okay. Now again, this is something that you should do with on-screen calculator. You know that this number will divide this. So 1 minus x upon 100. If you make use of calculator, you'll get to know that this 79716.15 upon 109350, it is 0.729. So 1 minus x upon 100 is going to be 0.9. Okay. X upon 100 is going to be 0.1 and x is actually going to be what? 10%. Okay. This is the depreciation happening every year. Now the question is asking 2 years ago from now. Now means present. What is the present value? 109350, right? 2 years ago from now, its value in rupees was obviously the value must have been greater because we are talking about 2 years before this. So say 2 years before this, the value was say K. Okay. From K, it would have depreciated 10%, then again 10%, then this would have become. So K is the value 2 years ago. 1 minus x upon 100 ka square. Why? Because we are depreciating it by 10%. Okay. Or you can say there is some value K 2 years ago. It will be depreciated by 10%. So we'll multiply it with 0.9 and then again 0.9 because depreciation will happen for 2 years. Okay. And the final value after depreciation of 2 years will be this. So we simply have to find out the value of k. Now you can solve it again using on-screen calculator. Okay. And once you solve this, you'll be getting the value of k as 135000. Okay. So that's it. Okay, and we see that yes, the value earlier is 135000. After two depreciations, it would have become this. Okay, so a calculative question, but doable. Okay, let's talk about this question now, which is around a regular hexagon polygons. The perimeter of a regular hexagon and a regular octagon are equal. So a regular hexagon, okay, looks something like this. Just a minute. Okay, so we are talking about a regular hexagon. Okay. Okay. And we are talking about a regular octagon. Okay. Clear? So let us assume that the side of the regular hexagon is say A and side of the octagon is B. Fine. Now we have been given that their perimeters are equal. So if side of hexagon is A, its perimeter will be 6A. Perimeter of octagon with side B will be 8B because it's a regular hexagon. Regular means all sides equal, all internal angles equal. Octagon also all sides equal, all internal angles equal. Okay. So we have been given B equal to 0.75A, right? This is what we have if we solve this 6 by 8. Okay. Now we know that a regular hexagon is actually made up of six equilateral triangles, right? It's made up of six equilateral triangles. And each equilateral triangle has side A. So can I say that area of the regular hexagon, okay, let me write down it over here. Hexagon will have area root 3 by 4 into side square, which is a square into 6 times. Okay. Otherwise, if I tell you the direct formula for area of a regular polygon, okay, you can also apply this formula. Okay. It is ns square upon 4 into 10 pi by n. What is n here? N is number of sides. S is the side value. 4 is simply 4. 10 pi by n. Pi is 180. Okay. Because pi is in radian and n is number of sides. So you can straight away apply both on hexagon and the octagon, right? We have been told to find out the ratio of area of octagon to that of hexagon. So octagon upon hexagon. Okay. Octagon will have area 8 into side square, that is b square. Octagon side is b. Okay. Upon 410 180 upon 8, right? So you can simply calculate 180 upon 8, that is 22.5, right? And hexagon area will be 6 because n we have 6 sides. Side value is a square upon 410 pi by n. Okay, that means 180 by 6, that is 1030. 4, 4 cancels and we can cancel these two. 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, right? So we get 4b square upon 1022.5 and we get 1030 here upon 3a square. I hope this much is clear. Now after this, if we solve it further, what do we get? We know that 4b square, b is 0.75a, or we can say b is equal to we have 3a by 4. Yes or no? B can be written as 3a by 4. So let's put B as 3a by 4. 3a square will be 9a square by 4 into 1030 is 1 by root 3, right? And below we have 1022.5 into 4 into root 3 into, we also have 3a square. So 3a square. So we have to solve it over here. Now we have, okay, 4 into 9a square upon 1022.5 into this 4 that came below, and we have 1030. Okay, 1030 here will be written as 1030 will be 1 by root 3. Okay, and 1 upon 3a square is also there. So a square cancels, 3 cancels 9, we get 3. Okay, 4 cancels 4, and root 3 cancels 3 by root 3. So we get root 3 on the top, and then we have, what do we have further? Okay, 9a square, 3, this will be 16, okay, over here. Because 3a by 4 was squared, so we get 16. 4 cancels 16, we get 4 at the bottom. Okay, and we have 10, 22.5 as well, right? This will be 16 over here. So we get a 4 here. Fine. Now you all know that we have been given 1067.5, which is root 2 plus 1. We have 1022.5. So can we write 1022.5 as cot? Cot 67.5? Yes, because you all know that 1090 minus theta is equal to cot theta. So cot 67.5 will be 1090 minus 22.5, that is 67.5, right? So this is it. Now cot 67.5 can be written as what? 1 upon 10, right? Cot 67.5 can be written as 1 upon 10. So 10 goes above and gets multiplied. So root 3 into 1067.5 divided by 4. Now we know the value of 1067.5, that is root 2 plus 1 divided by 4. We get root 6 plus root 3 divided by 4. Root 6 plus root 3 divided by 4. This is the answer. So this is one way, okay, in which you can directly find out the area of a regular polygon. This is very helpful while finding out ratios. But again, I mean, if you want to do it very conceptually, then you could have found the area of equilateral triangle as 6 times the area of one equilateral triangle, 6 times root 3 by 4 side square. But then if you go and find out the area of this octagon like this, see, there'll be 8 congruent triangles formed inside. Yes or no? Inside the octagon, right? So, but then you have to do a lot of things over here, because this central angle 360 will be divided by 8 first. This will become 45. So these two sides are equal. We have 135 remaining. So 67.5 will be here. 67.5 will be here. But then you have to draw this angle. Then maybe you have to take this b by 2 and then solve a lot over here. Yes or no? So to find out one, I mean, area of one triangle will be very difficult over here. And then above that, we have to multiply it with 8. So other than that, you can go ahead with this because you need the ratio. Okay, so both ways you can go. You can try the other method, okay, by yourself. Now we have another question based upon average speed. Okay, Yasin was traveling from city A to B. He traveled the first 1/5 of the distance at 10 km per hour, the next 3/20th of the distance at 15 km per hour. Of the remaining distance, he traveled one part at 20 km per hour and the rest of the distance at 12 km per hour. If the average speed of Yasin for the entire trip was 16 km per hour, what part of the entire trip did Yasin cover at 20 km per hour? So they're just testing the average, the concept of average, but again, they're making the equations complex for you. So probably they are making you do a lot of calculations. Okay, let's say from this point to this point, we have city A, city B, and see the entire distance from here to here. Okay, A to B, it is say 1 unit. Okay, clear? 1/5. This is 1/5 of the total distance, right? So first of all, what is average speed? Average speed is actually total distance, okay, upon total time. So average speed is basically used when we have journey in parts. Okay. Actually, average speed is the actual speed that we, observe in daily lives. We do not keep going in our cars or vehicles at that constant speed. Sometimes our speed is high, then low, then high, then low. Okay. So average speed is something which is more connected to real life. So total distance, I've assumed that it is 1 unit over here. And we are now going to calculate the total time taken. The first one fifth of the journey. So 1/5 of 1 unit is 1 by 5. And that is done at 10 kilometers per hour. So this is the distance upon speed, that means 10, right? So this is the total time taken. Distance 1 by 5 of 1 upon speed, which is 10, so we get 1 by 50. Plus next 3 by 20, 3/20th of the distance at 15 kilometer per hour. So 3 by 20 is the distance, and that is done at 15 kilometer per hour. So this is what we get, right? Then let us assume that he's here now. Now this is the distance remaining. Let's say this is distance x, and how much distance is remaining now? I mean, if you talk about the total distance remaining now, he already did 1 by 5th over here and 3 by 20th over here. So if you talk about 1 by 5 plus 3 by 20, it is actually what? 20, 7 by 20. 7 by 20 of the distance has been covered. So what do we remain with? We remain with 1 minus 7 by 20, because total distance is 1. So 1 minus 7 by 20 is 13 by 20, isn't it? So 13 by 20 of the total distance, 1 unit is still remaining. So let's say this is x. So remaining will be 13 by 20 minus x. Yes or no? He traveled one part at 20 kilometer per hour. So this x part he is traveling at 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, first 1/5 he traveled at 10 kilometer per hour. The next 3/20th at 15 kilometer per hour. X at 20 kilometer per hour, and the rest of the distance, this one at 12 kilometer per hour, and the average speed it is given 16. They are asking what part of the entire trip did Yasin cover at 20. So we are still finding out the total time taken. This part total time taken 3 by 20 total part taken is done. Okay. Then we have this uh, x amount of distance which was done at 20. Okay. Plus we have 13 by 20 minus x. This was distance done at 12 kilometer per hour. So now it's an equation that we have to solve. Okay, how to do it? 1 upon 1 by 50 plus 3 cancels this, so we get 1 by 100 plus x by 20. And then finally, if we take LCM over here, we get 13 minus 20x. 13 minus 20x by 240. Yes or no? And this is equal to 16. I hope this is clear. Now we just have to solve it. Okay. 1 upon, if we take LCM, complete LCM, we get how much? We get an LCM of, find the LCM over here. Or let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. We know that this entire thing is equal to 16, right? So can we take this 16 below 1 and take this entire portion on the right hand side? We'll get 1 by 16 equal to 1 by 50, okay, plus 1 by 100, and then plus x by 20 plus 13 minus 20x by 240. Okay. Now 1 by 16, 1 by 16 is equal to 1 by 50 plus 1 by 100 is actually 3 by 100, right? If we add these two, I get 3 by 100. Plus, if I solve these two separately, I get 20, 12, 12 minus 20, 8x, 13 minus 8x, right? This is what I get. Now further, if I solve this, if I take 3 by 100 on that side, what do I get? 1 by 16 minus 3 by 100. So I get 100 minus how much? 1600. So 100 minus 48, 52 by 1600, 52 by 1600. How did I get this? I took 3 by 100 to the left hand side. 1 by 16 minus 3 by 100 will be this. And that will be equal to 13 minus 8x by 240. Okay, we can cancel now. We cancel this by, say, 16, we get 100, and 16 15 ja this, right? Then further 5 3 ja 520. 4 13 ja and 4 5, right? So we get 13 by 5 on the left hand side and 13 minus 8x by 3 on the left hand side. Okay, we do this further. 39 is equal to 65 minus 40x, or I can say 40x is equal to 65 minus 39 is how much? 26. X is 26 by 40, or we can say 26 by 40 is actually equal to 13 by 20. So what is this x? This is 13 by 20. 13 by 20 of total 1 unit. So what part of the entire trip did Yasin cover at 20 kilometer per hour? This 20 kilometer per hour, it was 13 by 20 of total 1 unit. So we'll get 13 by 20 as the correct answer for this particular question. I hope it is clear. Okay. So average speed question, we have to be very patient while solving it. Okay. Now we have another question. Arun scored 25, 13, 12, 22 points in the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9 basketball games. His points per game average after 9 games was higher than after 5 games. If his average after 10 games was greater than 19, then the least number of points he could have scored in a 10 game. This is a question based upon average. So we have been given that there is game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th game. Okay, let's talk about these. We have been given his points in 6, 7, 8, ninth game. 6th, he got 25. 7th, he got 13. 12 in 8th. 22 in ninth. We do not know his points in 10th, neither in these. Okay, we have been given that his points per game average. So average of points, okay, after 9 games. So after 9 games, it will be S9, sum of points will be S9 divided by 9. This will be the average, right? It will be great. It was greater than after 5 games. So sum of points till 5 games divided by 5. Okay. Now let's assume that, see, we do not know the total value of sum of all the points in game 1 to game 5. Let's say it is X. Sum of all the points till game 5 was X. Okay. So can I talk about his total sum of points in 9 games? Sum till 9 points. Yes. 25, 13 is 38, 12, 50 plus 22, that is 72. So 72 plus X divided by 9. This is the point per game till 9 games. Okay. It is greater than S5. So that is X upon 5. Right. Can we solve this inequality? 72 plus x by 9 minus x by 5 is greater than 0, right? Can we solve this further? We get how much? 360 plus x minus 9x divided by 45 greater than 0. Or we can say 360 minus 8x greater than 0. Okay, fine. 360 plus 5x, okay? This will be 5x when we take LCM over here, right? So 360 minus this will be 4x. Okay. So 360 greater than 4x, or we can say x is less than 90. So sum of all the points. What is x? X is sum of all the points in first 5 games. It should be less than 90. Okay. I hope that is clear. We have to find out if his average after 10 games was greater than 19. Okay. Average after 10 games is greater than 19. The least number of points he could have scored in the 10th game. Fine. Let's say in 10th game he scored say K. Okay. So we know the sum of points in initial these games, 5 games, it is less than 90. So let's take the highest value, okay, which is less than 90. Okay, because we want him to score as minimum as possible over here. So if we want him to score minimum over here, and we are dealing with sum of all the quantities, okay, when the sum of all the quantities is kind of constant, we have to minimize one value, we have to maximize others, okay. So I'll take just x equal to 19, okay, which is just less than 90, which is 89. So initial 5 games he scored 89 points, plus next 6 7 8 9 in these 4 games, he scored a total of 72 points. So 72. And let me say that he scored K points in the 10th game. And this is the average of points per game. This is less than what? 19. This is points per game till 10 games. Okay, average of points after 10 games. It is okay, greater than 19. Okay, not less than 19. It is given greater than 19. Okay, so 89 plus 72 is how much? 161 plus K greater than 190. So K will be greater than 29. If K has to be greater than 29, then obviously just greater than 29. We have to find a value which is just greater than 29. Okay, we are trying to find out the least number of points he could score. So that will be 30. Right? This is the answer. I hope it is clear, not very difficult. Let's talk about this. P, Q, and R enter a partnership. P contributes one fifth of the whole capital, while Q contributes twice as much as P and R together contribute. Okay, if the profit at the end of the year is 555540, what is the difference in rupees between Q's share and the total combined share of P and R? So this is a question based upon partnership. Let us say that total money they had initially was X. So can we say that P plus Q plus R total had X initially? Okay. We are given P's contribution is one fifth of the total capital. So X by 5 will be P. And we have also been given that Q contributes twice as much as P and R together. So P plus R. Okay. Okay. So can we say that Q is equals to 2 times, we know P, it is X by 5, right? Plus R. Can we put it all together, this Q in this equation? Okay. P will be X by 5. Q will be 2 times X by 5 plus R plus R. That is equal to X. This way we'll be able to, have a relation between R and X. So x by 5 plus 2x by 5 plus 2r plus r, that means 3r is equal to x. So 3x by 5 plus 3r, that is equal to x. So 3r is equal to x minus 3x by 5, that is 2x by 5. So r is 2x by 15. Okay. We know r, we know p, that is x by 5. Using p plus q plus r equals to x, p plus q plus r equal to x, can we find out q as well? Obviously, if we find out q, then that will be equal to, you can also say that r is 2x by 15, p is x by 15, so p can be made how much? I want to make the denominator 15, so 15. So to make the denominator 15, we have to multiply by 3. So 2, 3, 5. We want 10, right? Because p plus q plus r has to be x in total. So q will be 10x by 15, obviously. So I just tried to make the denominator equal to 15, okay? I have PQR. Can I find out the ratio of their contributions? So PQR. What is the ratio? It'll be 3 ratio 2 ratio. Okay, 3 ratio 10 ratio 2. I hope this much is also clear to you. We have been given one more thing, that the profit at the end of the year is this. So we know that in partnership, whatever is your contribution in the same ratio, profit is also distributed. So profit is distributed in the ratio in which you contribute. Okay. So we want the difference between the profit of Q's share. Okay. Q's share in the profit and combined share of P and R. So Q, and we'll find out P plus R together. But see, the total contribution over here, P ratio, Q ratio, it is in ratio 3, 10, 2. So can we say that it is 3x, 10x, 2x, so that we can make it 15x? So 15x is the total contribution. And profit total at the end of the year will also be related to this 15x, because profit and contribution are in same ratio. So total profit will also be 15x, and it will be equal to this, right? So can you find out the value of x from here? It'll be, you can use the on-screen calculator again, okay? You'll get 37036. So can we say that ratio of their profits is also visible now, right? We say that peak profit will be 3x. Q got 10x, and R will have profit 2x. So we want to find the difference between Q has profit share 10x, P plus R. So 3 plus 2, that means 5x. What is the difference between their profit ratio? It is 5x. So let's find out the value of 5 into x is 37036. So 185 and 180. 185, 180. Option B is the correct answer. Clear? That's it with the paper. Okay. Was not very difficult. I mean, arithmetic specifically is not that difficult. One or two questions are very lengthy. Okay. We'll now solve the DI part. Okay. I hope all these questions are clear to you. If you have any doubt, do comment and we'll definitely reply.